All right, so let's go through a general overview of activity 3. So what you're doing with that is you're looking at how different techniques that are used in media impact you. So you're going to learn how they use these different techniques to sell products. So specifically in the content area, let's have a look. Okay, so the first part goes through what makes an ad memorable, and you're going to work through the sort of Old Spice guy ads. And when you're doing that, one of the things that you're going to look at is this media triangle that we've already looked at before. And now you've got a media codes and conventions Google Doc to have a look at too. So let's just flip. Ooh, no, wrong one. Let's open this one up. So the media triangle was from content area 1, and we're going to kind of keep coming back to this because it's a really great guide to look at when you're sort of looking at how you're consuming different media messages. So the triangle itself, remember, it looks at waiting for it to load. So it looks at the text that's in media. So what is the story that's going on? What is it? How does it tell the story? What codes and conventions are used? So that is going to be what's up here. And whose values and beliefs are being represented, and whose are left out. And then when you're looking at production, you're looking at who actually owns the media, why did they make it, how technology impacts the production of that piece of media, who controls the text and its meaning. And then you're also looking at areas of audience. So different audiences are going to interpret media messages differently. So you need to think about when you're looking at different media messages, who the target audience of that message would be and why that audience would be targeted. And then think about how and why it would appeal to this particular audience, but not to others. And then think about how does an audience's background influence the meaning they make. So the other thing, I don't think I've gone through this yet in another assignment, but you're going to see it a few different times. So media codes and conventions. So essentially you're looking at the different techniques, I guess, that are used within media messages. So there can be symbolic codes, there can be technical codes, written codes, and then different conventions. So if we look, things like the time and place of the story, different camera work, the printed language that's used if it actually pops up on the screen, other pieces like whatever is happening in the frame, the set design, the props that are used. You could have editing that can be graphic editing, rhythmic editing. So it's sort of how the images and sounds are manipulated within the ad. You can also see things like common narrative structure. So if it was like fairy tale type of thing, you might see something like that, cause and effect, character construction, point of view. Other things that you might see are with the acting itself. So facial expressions, body language, the vocal qualities that are used in the media text, different movement that happens, body contact that may happen in the ad. Audio, so what you hear, so the music, the sounds, the dialogue, all of those things. So if you're thinking about written codes, you might think about what are the song lyrics, what is the dialogue that's playing in that message. And then there's different genre conventions. So things like the characters that are in there, and that they're closely linked with audience expectations. So if you're watching a horror movie, you tend to expect certain things out of that movie. And sometimes they're either formal or thematic. So other things that you might notice in the ads themselves are things like colors, Sometimes colors are linked to cultural backgrounds or may have strong connotations that come with those colors. Color can be used as symbolism. And then different lighting. So, how bright it is, the source of it. Is it like dark and misty, or is it sort of a bright and happy message? So, we come back to this a few times, but it is a really good overview when you are looking at an ad itself. So when you're looking at this Old Spice ad, I want you to use those two just to sort of start to get used to the things that are on them. And then you're going to talk about in the discussion what elements of this ad make it memorable. So why do you think this Old Spice guy, became such a recognizable figure in North American culture? So what were some of the messages that were used? What were some of the facial expressions? What was some of the camera work that was used? So you're just trying to pull a little bit of this information to sort of open up discussion around it. Same thing with thinking about what are some of the media codes and conventions that were used in this ad. So at this time, you're kind of getting used to these two, and then how to apply them when you're looking at an ad. So to go on, there's going to be more practice being able to sort of look at how media messages are portrayed. This part we are not doing right now. I might work it back into the course later, but I'm not going to use it right now. Again, you're looking at more techniques that are used in different media ads, and looking at how ads can manipulate the emotions. And I'm going to come back to this assignment and I'll do a separate video there. And then you're looking at a career connection. So an example would be a podcaster. So a podcaster would be somebody who is putting out media messages through their podcast. So you'll learn a little bit more about that in the content area. So that's a general overview as well as the overview of the discussion. And I will come back and do another video for this specifically.